All right, hello everybody. I'll do a quick sound check here on the app. Let's see if it decides to play another ad. Looks like it's good. Thank you for joining yet again. This is InsaneSparty for America's F2 Thursday. 2 races tonight. First one, which includes a one-shot quali in Monaco, which should be absolutely exciting. We'll use that word, given the last 3 out of 4 races by the very talented America's F2 drivers, where we seem to have accidents before we even get to turn 1. So we'll see how that one goes tonight for us. We do have quite a full grid. I believe we have 18 people. You guys are waiting for the fixed setups to be confirmed and everybody to not choose their tires, since this will be a 25% race. No formation lap, as we have learned. Safety cars are also not on because that is what the game likes to do. And pretty soon here we'll follow somebody around Monaco Grand Prix. Might have a couple DNFs here on the old docket. Or not DNF, excuse me, disqualifications. And we'll follow Plebs around the track. He joins us from Pacific. Availability seemed to have worked tonight. Well, his day, our night. As you can see, we do have 18 drivers. Fantastic turnout for the grid tonight. A little bit tricky. Walls are really close. I honestly hate this turn here. Awesome job getting that done. A couple facts about the Monaco Grand Prix here. We have a 19-turn course. It is just over 2 miles at 2.074 miles, 3.337 kilometers. Typical race is 78 laps. For this one, I believe it's maybe 11. One of the crown jewels, or the triple crown of motorsports, the Monaco Grand Prix, Indianapolis 500, and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Those make up this. Most wins by a driver. Senna has 6, and I did not know that McLaren has the most constructors wins by a team here with 15. As you see, Plez crosses the line in 6th, Blockman with a really good lap, 18.6. Drag King 2nd, Verts will be 3rd. It looks like somebody either spun, crashed, did something, because that took quite a while to finish there. And we have Blockman taking pole, Drag King 2nd, Verts. He's a very... Verts likes to finish up front, so we'll see how he does in this first race here. Schmegman 4th, Virtus in 5th, Plebs in 6th. Vitamin D 7th, Sublime 8th, Sargent 9th, Highside rounding out the top 10, Robert Elder in 11th, JBH 12th, Professor Phil 13th, Squish 14th, Rocket 15th, Flavius 16th, Style 17th, and Tay in 18th, and nobody DQ'd, so fantastic job to everybody for actually being able to pull that off. Didn't think that was going to happen. All right, countdown ensues. Shouldn't have too much of a break between this loading everybody in and being able to hit the grid since everything's fixed. There we go, countdown is on. So everybody, while you have some time, grab your favorite beverage and enjoy the chaos which is about to ensue. Just so you know, no smoking there by the pit lane, in case you were wondering. Please step out onto the main straight in order to do that. All right, here we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. Blockman leading the charge all the way down to turn one. Looks like he got a little bit loose, Verts, and he got very loose. Something happened there. Verts was able to make the pass. Blockman missing a portion of his wing. There we go. Right on cue. It looks like Tay or Flavis. Got a little bit sideways there. Not a whole lot of room to back forward or reverse. Plez looks like he got a little bit of an issue. Where is his car? There is his car. Took a plummet way down the field. This is a good view. You see everybody's just stacked up, single file. I'd say nice and orderly, but it's going to be a mad dash through the tunnel down to the very hard braking left, right, left chicane. Vert's already out front, picking up where he normally leaves off. Dragging in second, Viridis chasing down Schmeg. Viridis gets a corner cutting penalty. Already penalties. It's pretty impressive. 3 warnings in lap number 1. Maybe some of those were due to avoiding some traffic or some incidents. And if he's able to not get any, maybe he can successfully appeal that penalty. But that remains to be seen. Everybody on the same tire, no mandatory pit stops for this race. Sargent's got JBH, Jelly Bologna Ham, hot on his tail on the right-hand side. He does have the preferred line coming up to this corner right here, but does scoot back in line. As they accelerate down the hill, see if any lunges happen. So far, pretty orderly. All over the back of Sargent. Get that Jelly Bologna Ham warmed up. You don't want a cold ham, you want a hot ham. Everybody through the tunnel. Nice little sparks flying up. You see we have a night race here at Monaco. Obviously different than what we see during the actual race season. Pleb's trying to make backup ground, has dropped 9 spots so far. Blockman down 8 with that incident that he had before we even got to turn 1. Verts leading Drag King, leading the second of 11 laps. Big gap between Drag King and Viridis. Vitamin D close, but not too close to Schmeg. Might have a little bit of a DRS train. Not very overpowering here. Obviously this is great. As you can see the rear view and sort of over the tire. Sargent has closed on Mr. Highside. JBH still there right behind him. Blockman trying to make up those lost spots as well. Sub lurking in the background. Everybody here, you could throw them under a blanket. Coyotonic has their bowl of cereal. Wonder what kind of cereal. As you see, Jelly Bologna Ham still chasing down. Oh, we got a little bit of that curb there. Slight jut to the right. Style Harmony picks up a 2-second penalty. Verts, 2-second lead. Drag King also has a penalty, as well as Viridis, so the top 2 is really going to be kind of in their own little world here. Schmeg's 2 seconds behind them, so the penalties conceivably wouldn't come into play yet. Pretty spaced out here at the front, and then everybody about 7th back to 14th. Only a couple seconds spacing then. Plev's got around Professor Phil there. See if the professional can make that spot up back as they head down towards the tunnel. Wheat Bix and honey. I honestly don't know what that means. I hope it is wonderful. Professor Phil, you saw there with that big cut of that corner, picks up a time penalty as well. Pressure's going to be off of Plevs for a little bit here. Black Man chasing down Jelly Bologna Ham, who does have a bit of a gap that he's let Sargent escape from. Viridis sets a fast lap to 120.128. Sargent trying to close on high side. Should have had DRS open coming up that hill. Everyone's pretty spaced out here. Honestly, in my opinion, you don't really want to be close to anybody here at Monaco. You never know when they tag the wall, and then you will be an innocent bystander and have your race day end poorly. Sub trying to ride the corner here. Chase down Blockman. Sub down 2 spots from the race onset. A little bit squirrely there on exit. Blockman might give it a... was maybe close enough to give it a go as we see JBH pick up the penalty. Sub with a good exit here on Blockman. Still going to have to fall in line. There is no good place to pass on these next few corners into Sector 3. Drag King gets passed by Viridis. Viridis with that DRS probably going down the main straight was able to take advantage of that. Following up here through the fast downhill section right here. Viridis moved over to the right to block that lane. Smart move. Plevs on the back to Squish. Looks like Squish was able to get around Plevs in that DRS zone. Plevs takes a little tiny peek into the inside, does not commit. Would have ended in tears for everybody there, I do believe, in my expert opinion. There's some good little battles. See if Plevs was able to make a move here on Squish. He's all over the back of him. Does stay nice and orderly behind. Gave him a little bit of a left tap. No harm, no foul. Vitamin D picks up a 2-second penalty as well. He thought he'd go skim, but apparently he's trying to go whole. Here it is, sets a fast lap. Well, Plevs barely cut that corner there. It gets dinged with a 2-second penalty. Sometimes track limits here. It's hard to understand how you can get a track limit penalty on a course that is full of walls. Plevs has the position on Squish as they head up to turn 1. Easy. Done and dusted. Let's head back through the field. Let's go check on... I don't even know. Robert Elder. Here we go. Robert Elder chasing Sub down the hill. Nothing doing. Tucked in behind. Minimal passing spots here at Monaco. If he gets a good exit here, he might be able to make a late braking move here on Sub. It's too far back at this point in time. You do get a little bit of a drag on these F2 cars, much more than you do on the F1 cars. High side picks up a penalty as well. Might be whoever doesn't have penalties is going to slide into the top 10 here, I imagine. As I say that, Rocket also picks up a 2-second penalty. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So half of our racers here have penalties tonight. Style gets a penalty as well. That's great, everybody. The point of racing is to not get those penalties because that will hurt your final position. I don't know if that was... and there goes Tay. Apparently, in the driver's meeting before the race, we need to make sure that this is a known fact for everybody. Or maybe it was opposite day, and instead of double points, those who had the most amount of penalty minute or penalty seconds win. Robert Elder trying to take a look at Sub here. He stays close, he might be able to hit him on this downhill right-hander. Take a big chance with a big lunge. No such luck. Got Plebs right behind as well. Plebs only down 6 spots, so has picked up a couple. It's nice and close there on the slow corner. Haven't seen Sergio Perez crash in that corner here yet, so that's good. Still nothing doing. A little bit of a DRS train for everybody here since they're so close, heading into that front straight sector. See Robert Elder losing a little bit. Plebs might be able to take some advantage, depending on. Well, he would have had DRS based on that last zone. You see Sub get a little wobbly there. Wing is open. I don't think Robert Elder's going to be able to pull this one off, though. Too far back. Both guys had DRS. Plebs just lurking, waiting for a mistake in front of him. Ready to pounce. Might be able to do it here. Oh, loses the back end slightly. Does maintain it going straight, but that definitely hurt him. I think he was possibly going to be able to pull out and make a move there. As some chaos has happened, and it looks like Blockman is around inside that chicane. That is a terrible place, unfortunately, for him to have that. And it looks like Plebs, where's your cargo, is in the barrier. So something happened with that chaos there. Of course we missed it. You're excellent broadcaster here. As you see Phil take a big old wide, or actually it was a short way around the corners. Laying off, Blockman was able to make that pass. Jelly Bologna Ham trying to catch up to high side here. Viridis chasing down Verts. His lead is it's actually less than 2 seconds, so he's gained some time here. We do have about a lap and a half to go in this race. Blockman attacking Squish, heading up the hill. There is no room for error here, boys. That's a terrible view. Don't give me that view. Blockman tags the inside wall. By consequence, hits Squish. Phil gets past. Bumps Phil. It could have been worse, I suppose. Verts picks up a 2-second penalty. Let's bring this up here. Where's our penalties, boys? That's not what I want. There we go. So penalties are definitely going to play a little bit here. Well, actually probably not. If we're a proper race and everybody is actually driving how they're supposed to, it might be more in play than they will, but Verts does have 2 seconds as well as Viridis. So Viridis has to pass him on track to win the race. We do have Schmeg far behind, and with an additional 2 seconds. Excuse me. Drag King has an additional 2 seconds on Viridis, but Schmeg is not in the gap there to be able to capitalize on that. Viridis tags the wall there. Running out of corners to be able to make this pass. Don't think it's going to happen here, as we see high side is stuck. That's no bueno. No bueno. Viridis is going to have to, unless something happens to Verts here, as he gets a little wobbly. Looks like Verts is going to yet again be able to win a race. Taking his domination to the next level. He gets a tiny bit sideways, but it should be good to go here. Clean, no wall contact. Verts, Monaco Grand Prix winner. Viridis in second. Drag King, too far behind for penalties to matter. Schmeg, same deal. If he was a little bit closer, we'd be able to make this stick. Looks like Phil had a little bit of a moment or two. Vitamin D finishes. Sargent way back behind him. We'll be able to come home 6. Jelly Bologna Ham, however, is going to lose probably 2 more spots here. Probably finish down in 9th. Yep, there we go. And let's give Style. Style will give you some love here, buddy. So we see Style coming through the last couple corners. Actually catching Flavis here. Maybe there could be a small little battle of ignoring those time penalties. I see. Yep, here comes Style to the finish line. No DNFs. Great job, fellas. No DQs, no DNFs, and an incident before we hit turn 1. Everything is as it should be here in America's F2 Thursday. Weirdest driver of the day. Congratulations. That comes with a 17-point bonus tonight. One for each percent of this thing that I am drinking. We seem to be stuck on the loading screen here. So I had some moderate excitement as we see Verts yet again atop of the podium, becoming a very tried and true result that we have. So Verts takes yet another victory. I believe this is, what is this race? 11. So he has maybe seven victories thus far on the season. Viridis finishes second. Drag King in third. Captain Schmeg in fourth. Vitamin D in fifth. Sergeant sixth. Sublime in seventh. Robert Elder eighth. Jelly Bologna Ham in ninth. And Squish rounds out the top 10. He will go into first place for the reverse grid second race. Blackman in 11th. Rocket in 12th. Plevs in 13th after that unfortunate incident that we had. Blackman as well, who did start on pole. Plevs in 13th, Highside 14th, Professional Phil in 15th, Taker Easy in 16th, Flavius in 17th, and Style Harmony in 18th. So yet again, Verts will start in the 10th position and have to bully his way all the way up through the field to take another win. Squish will start on pole for Jeddah, which should be also a chaotic entry into turn 1. All right, so typically we will have, I believe, let me check the chat here, maybe up to 5 minutes while the grid is reset. Everybody uses the facilities, grabs another refill on their drinks, etc., etc., etc. All right, so hang tight. We shall return. And I believe we are 2 minutes or so away from starting the second race here at Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. 50% race, only 14 laps. Reverse grid. So those of you that were watching race number one, Verts will start in 10th. Blackman, it seems incorrect. Anyways, I'm sure it will be all sorted out. Eventually, perhaps, maybe. Anywho, we know that Verts is going to start in 10th place and have to pick his way through the field yet again. Should be moments away from starting race number two. Perhaps, who knows? Maybe while we're sitting here, we'll check to see if the formation lap is actually turned on, because that's always exciting to make me look like a doofus when we are expecting something. Oh, we have a night race. Great, fantastic. And oh, did I miss it? Formation lap is on. Wow, hey, there we go. Every now and then a blind squirrel finds a nut. All right, so while we're sitting here with the lobby not started and nothing else to do except have dead air on the airwaves, before, maybe I should have done this before, who knows. Anywho, before we started the last race in Monaco, Verts was our championship leader. He only had a 79-point advantage over Blackman, who was in second. Viridis was in third, Vitamin D in fourth, Drag King fifth, Nico in sixth. I believe Nico is not here tonight. Jelly Bologna Ham in seventh, Sublime in eighth, Robert Elder ninth, Captain Schmeg in 10th. Constructors, we had Art leading with 304, Prima with 266, Dams with 239, MP with 187, and it looks like we're getting ready to go here. Virtuosi, Carlin, Trident, High Tech, Compost, VAR, and Charlotte. That's also what I wanted to do while this is loading. So Verts has one, two, three, four, five, now six. Six victories, two second places, a third place, excuse me, three second places, a third place, and somehow finished off the podium in one race this season so far. So he obviously needs to pick up the pace, practice a little bit more, and maybe he can be better on the remainder of the season. So as I mentioned, those people look very excited for this F2 race here in Saudi Arabia. They are waiting patiently for that incident that we all know is going to happen before we hit the first turn, because that is what we do. I would also recommend to those people that are in the balcony there to maybe back away a couple steps. It looks like they are about to fall off. And the pit crew is nice and safe inside their garages. So good for them for fixing something in this game. Formation lap we saw was on, and it is on, so that's great. So Squish, there we go. So that was correct. So Squish is going to lead the field. In second will be JBH, Robert Elder in third, Supply in fourth, Sergeant in fifth, Vitamin D sixth, Schmeg seventh, Drag King in eighth, Viridis will be 9th, and Verts will start all the way back in 10th. My guess is he will be up into 4th place by the end of lap 4. Blackman in 11th, Rocket in 12th, Plebs in 13th, Highside in 14th, The Professional 15th, Take Her Easy in 16th, Flavis in 17th, and riding shotgun on the field, which probably is the safest place to start one of these races, Style Harmony. Some super fun facts about Jeddah. Started racing here in the F1 Series in 2021. I am uncertain if the course is actually fully constructed. I believe they're making some changes here as well for the upcoming F1 race in 2023. It is a very long course, 3.836 miles, 6.174 kilometers approximately. And if I remember correctly, there are 27 turns at this course. Robert Elder joining the race. That is a good thing to do. Unfortunately, I believe, because he joined during the formation lap, the game will probably not give him control until corner 2 or 3, which I'm sure will be fantastic. Let's take a look at the tires here. Everybody except for JBH, Viridis, Plebs, and Style are on the medium tires. So it'll be interesting to see undercut, overcut, etc., how that is going to play out here. There will be safety cars that are active for the 50% race, unlike the first one. Because we have Squish leading the field here to the grid. Style taking his time. A veteran driver of the day, as we see Highside did a little whoopsie doodle. Well, this view is not very good. Hopefully we get a better view here. And 10 red lights. Squish is going to lead the field to turn 1. Here we go. We are underway. Looks like JBH does get the jump off of Squish. Running back 3 wide into turn 1, turn 2. So far, so good. Somebody is definitely inside another car. That is fantastic to see. That was probably Robert Elder because he was running in AI and then rejoining during the race. Looks like Rocket and Style. Oh, sorry, Style got ahead. Looks like Rocket and Schmeg had a little bit of an incident. I can't see the cars, game. Come on. There is a wing that is sitting there. There we see Schmeg. Somebody has lost a wing. Squish chasing down JBH. No, excuse me. Sublime chasing down JBH. All over the back of Drag King is Viridis as they're coming through wherever the heck they are on the track. Sector 2. These views from the car are not very good as we see Viridis get a good run on Drag King here. So close are these walls. Viridis does have those soft tires. Very even speed we'll see here. Very unforgiving left-hander. This curb here will give you troubles in F1. Send that car sideways into the wall. Verts currently up to 6. I said up to 4th by lap 4, right? So here we go. Verts trying to take advantage of Drag King coming out of the final corner as they race into the front stretch for the first time, completing lap 1. Let's see if Drag King does not cover that inside and stays on the outside. Everybody deep brakes. Verts going for the rolls. Cut back. Sub following Viridis and Squish. Verts lurking, waiting for Drag King. Viridis chasing down Squish. Maybe was a track limits violation there, who really knows. Does set a purple sector. This is, of course, lap 2, so that really doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot. Robert Elder has retired. Looks like, I don't even know, on track, perhaps? Not in the pits, definitely not in the pits. Maybe didn't want to deal with that broken wing after having it be AI at the start. Style picks up 3 seconds already. Less than 2 laps in as we see Verts here trying to make the pass on Drag King. Both of them, Verts a little bit wide. And there's that little wobble that you get on that corner. Unsettles the car. Sublime chasing down Squish. Vitamin D. Verts side by side here. Both on medium tires, should have similar traction coming out of the corner. Vitamin D with the position. So far, drag race down to turn 1. Pretty even. No draft or that either are able to take advantage of at the moment. Here they come, Verts on the inside. Vitamin D looks like he gave him a little bump. Excuse me, that was Verts giving Vitamin D a little bump. Sargent there picking up the pieces. So little Mike goes wide, Blockman now all over the back of Sargent. It's kind of like the accordion effect. One guy gets a little bit out of shape, and that's going to push them back into the field, and everyone else is going to be sitting there waiting. Take the pounce. Blockman now on the back of Sargent. DRS will be open here in this next sector. Big, long DRS zones that we have here at Jeddah. On that final 3rd sector, and then that front stretch. Plevs chasing down Verts. Verts is in 6th so far. Does have a lap and a half to get back up to the position I said he was going to be in. So here we go. DRS is going to be enabled for both of these guys. We'll see how much of a draft that Blockman can get off of Sargent as they both try to chase down Vitamin D. Not a whole heck of a lot, honestly. Tries to go around the outside. Sargent's going to lose out a little bit. Didn't have the traction on exit. Plebs side by side with Verts. Watch these two as they run down into the first corner. Plebs over on the left side of the screen. We'll have the position for turn 2 as they sort of get together. A little bit, no harm, no foul. I'm just going to slot back in right behind Verts. We will have DRS zone coming up through these very technical S's. If you hit this corner here, you'll get a great run into this sort of short, fast section. Blockman trying to pass Vitamin D here. It gets a little squirrely upon exit. Is still able to maintain that position, however. Robert Elder. Oh. So we got side-by-side battle for first. Viridis and Jelly Bologna Ham coming into, let's see, Viridis is going to be ahead at the DRS detection point. No. For the next DRS detection point, he will be ahead. JBS is going to be behind, but have the advantage on that long front straight. This tries to go the long way around final corner. So is behind, but will see that wing pop open, right? No, he is going into the pits. JBH pitting, taking those soft tires off 4 laps into the race. Seems a little early for me, but perhaps wanted to get those off while he still had time. Maybe try to get that undercut. Sublime now moves up to second. Verts, we have finished 4 laps, and he's only in 5th as he is all over the back. And he and Plebs. So he got all over the back of, I believe it was Squish. And then Plebs, perhaps with nowhere to go, because Verts was letting off the gas there. Both of them end up together in the wall. Not the day either of them wanted to have at this point in time, as we see high side, I believe. Cut off the track, Style, picks up the penalty. Sergeant trying to chase down Vitamin D, who is chasing down, oh, that's no good, Blockman, as JBH picks up a 3-second penalty. And we see Squish. Squish is around, and Sublime is around. Well, we did not catch that incident. It looks like Squish, I believe, got a 5-second penalty for whatever took place there. That will certainly be something that is submitted as an incident, but we don't know what, because we were looking elsewhere. No safety car, however. I'm pretty sure there's probably some debris scattered all over the place. Looks like Drag King is in the wall with lots of broken stuff. Things are everywhere. Parts are everywhere of cars. End plates missing. Both end plates are missing. No safety car. This is incredible. Don't know where they think that the parts are going to be shoved off the track at, but apparently this did not merit anything. Now, if it was a Haas would have called out the safety car. So we see Viridis currently in first place with an extremely large gap. Blockman picks up a penalty, and that's not going to help his cause there. He has a 6+ second lead over Blockman. Then Vitamin D with a second. Professional chasing down Take Her Easy. Everybody up here, since we started some pit stops and then had some massive accidents that we just saw, up a significant amount of positions. Take Her Easy and Style both up 10 spots. Blockman up 9. Biggest going the other way. JBH down 12 and Squish down 10. Phil should have, as long as he stays in this gap, as well as Style. Good DRS. In just a second, Drag King picks up 3 seconds as well. There goes the DRS, activated. Style also has it activated, both of them trying to pick up some sort of draft from Tay. They both will have DRS yet again. Let's see if Phil's able to get anything gathered for first turn. I imagine he is. Here he goes. As they both come into turn 1, Tay squeezes him slightly. Two guys very familiar with each other. They are teammates for multiple seasons on multiple different days in the America Series on Sunday as well as Tuesday. Tay takes the scenic route, does redress the position, so no harm, no foul on that. Style lurking, waiting for a chance here to pick up any pieces that may remain. Sublime's chasing down Squish. Earlier incident that we didn't catch there quite, that Sublime fell down multiple spots. We'll have DRS here coming up. Might even be able to make a move here on Squish, depending on if he also was in the DRS zone, and he was, unfortunately, so Sub's only going to have the draft capability, which he will wisely tuck in behind. They both still will have DRS here on Mr. Highside as they approach the final corner in the front straight. See Viridis ducking into the pits. So he is one of 2 guys that has not yet pit that were on the soft tires. We saw JBH come in after or on the end of lap 4 very early, but then immediately picked up a time penalty that's going to hurt. Sublime trying to play it maybe safe here. Going through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 is behind high side. You don't want to push too much because you never know what these cars can do with these close walls. Get a little squirrely on exit. Does have to lift here. Following high side. It looks like Plebs is out and gone. Perhaps a pit lane retirement. That is unfortunate. Looking forward to seeing him enjoy America's F2 Thursdays. That was not the case, however, unfortunately tonight. Perhaps the next time. As we see JBH catching Rocket. JBH on newer tires. Does have a good position. Is able to make that clean pass. Rocket ends up behind, in line. Should have DRS coming to the next zone here. Sublime chasing down Mr. Highside, who should still have... No, did not. He was not in DRS zone, so Sub will have good speed coming down here. And also, I believe Highside will have the DRS, however, they both have it. Interesting. Sub ducks into the pit lane. Doesn't violate any pit lines. Uzumaki would be proud. So lots of guys, lots of front runners coming in for those soft tires. Phil and Tay running out front. Both still need to pit style. 8-lap-old softs. Hanging in there. Very impressive. Squish. As we see Highside Viridis side by side. Verts on fresh softs. Depending on how this shakes out, may be running in 5th place, perhaps, once all the pit stops are completed, as Squish picks up a time penalty. Jelly Bologna Ham going for the move on Mr. Highside. Can't really tell where the cars are on this view. Thank you very much. Highside tucks back in behind JBH. Moves over Tay. All over Phil as they approach this DRS zone. Should be able to make the pass. Both of them are due for a pit stop. Perhaps they are both coming in. I guess we'll see. They are not teammates in this race, so both of them pitting at the same time will not impede either of them. As we see Phil, Tay, Style, Squish all duck into the pits. That was interesting. Don't often see a car ghosting through another car into the pit lane, but we did there. So a bevy of cars coming into the pits. Viridis assumes the lead, does have a 2-second lead over JBH, who does have a 3-second penalty. Blockman in 3rd also has a penalty. Subs coming out of the pits, slotted into 7th. Tay with Phil behind him, Style behind him as well. Not as many penalties from all the drivers as we had in the first race, but still a bunch. Schmeg chasing down Drag King, both partners here. Not a whole lot of overtaking opportunities during this sector. Not going to be close enough to get a lunge into the corner up here, but could be a good passing zone depending on how far back you start. Blackman chasing down JBH. Looks like Blackman should get DRS as well for this next sector. Is on the soft tires. DRS wing not open. Interesting. Does set a fast lap with a 141.036. And sets his sights 3 seconds plus penalties from Viridis. Are on the preferred compound. Soft should be very fast here at the end of the race, but we'll see if he can bring that down. It's a big hill to climb as he does go wide on exit there. Big hill to climb with only 3.5 laps left in the race, plus the time penalty that would need to be offset. Phil here on the back of Tay. Blackman has gained 1/10 thus far. Everybody pretty well spaced out. Tay and Phil were the closest two to each other on track. Follow them along for a little bit. Phil does have a 3-second penalty. Takes the adventurous route. Right there. Will definitely have DRS. Depending on whether he chooses to use that till its full advantage here, and or he actually might get it on the next straight as well, since I believe he was still behind at that activation zone, and he does. So not only does he take a little bit of a lead coming out of that corner, he then gets the DRS on top of that to get in great position heading down into turn number 1. Drag King thought about making a low move there, then perhaps thought better of it. It's going to get cut off a little bit way too late. Style picks up another penalty. Has 9 seconds for the high score of the race. Congratulations to him, driver of the day. Viridis setting sail has made up that 1/10 that Blackman had gained. Coming to 2 laps to go. Almost 6 seconds in time. Unless he has a whoopsie doodles, he's going to have a second as well as a first place on the Tay as Blackman gets a little bit too close to that final wall. Everybody's spaced out pretty far. Big old gap between Sub and whoever. Sargent. Sargent dominating Sub this race. Something that we'd love to see more of on the F1 side as well. Squish side by side with Style. Style on the fresher tires. Oh, that was high side. Well, I saw Style and was talking Style, and well, he should be on the mediums. So, oh well. Squish putting the move on Mr. High Side. There we go. JBH with a penalty. High Side with a penalty. You get a penalty. You get a penalty, and you get a penalty. Feels like Oprah in here. High Side chasing down Squish. The soft tires look a little slick here in the S chicanes. Again, track limits are just a suggestion. High side looks to have lost a lot of time through here. Still would have DRS if he was close enough, but definitely won't be close enough to attack. Closest battle on track currently is Phil and Tay. Sargent still giving sub a pounding. Verts only in 5th so far, as we have who's off the track. I don't even know. Somebody went off the track. There was a yellow flag. Maybe they were remembering that they had wing debris on the track from earlier that they didn't throw a caution for. It's amazed that that happens. So Jelly Bologna Ham does have 6 seconds of penalties that will drop them down to 5th place currently if the race were to end, which it will because this is the last lap. Tay chasing down Phil. Does not make the move into turn 1. So Viridis, Blockman, must have also had a big moment here. Viridis setting sail, 7+ second lead. Incredible. Great race so far from start to finish from him. Started down in the 9th position. High side picks up penalty. Style says, not so fast, my friend. This is 12th second of penalties. Not so great. So Viridis coming down into the final corner of the race. Doesn't hit any walls. Puts the gas down and will win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix by a healthy margin. Blockman running towards the finish as well. Will finish 2nd. JBH crosses the line in 3rd, but possibly is going to drop down to 5th. There we go. He is 5th. Sargent over the line in 6th. Sublime could only see the fumes from Sargent's car because he was driving so fast in front of him. He will finish 7th. Phil will come home across the line in 8th, but probably finish 9th. Style crosses the line into the top 10 and will not finish there when everything is said and done. We have we have Captain Schmeg coming in 10th. Style drops all the way down. Flavius, follow Rocket here. Rocket coming down to the final, crossing the line. Flavius rounding the last corner, finishing out the race. Final car. And there we go. Saudi Arabia Grand Prix F2 America Series Thursday is in the books. A little less exciting than Monaco, I would think. Everyone was kind of spread out pretty good there at the end. We did see a couple incidents that collected some of the front runners, or some of the guys that were actually near the front at that time. Unfortunate for them, but we do see Viridis come away with the victory after starting in 9th. Blockman up a lot of spots there. Starting in 11th, finishing 2nd. Vitamin D in 3rd. Verts does get up to 4th position, just way after I said that he would. JBH finishes in 5th. Sargent in 6th. Sublime in 7th. Take Her Easy in 8th. Phil in 9th. Captain Schmeg rounds out the top 10. Squish finishes 11th. Highside in 12th. Drag King in 13th. Style, with all those penalties, finishes in 14th place. Rocket in 15th, Flavius in 16th, and then Plebs and Robert Elder DNF'd 17th and 18th, respectively. So that'll do it for another edition of America's F2 Thursday. Next week, we shall be... Where's my calendar? I don't even know where my calendar is. Oh my goodness. Next week, we are at tracks that are a little bit, the walls are not as close. Next week is Portugal, which hopefully we'll hope for a wet race because dry races at Portugal are terrible. And Spa. So Portugal and Spa for round 7 of America's F2 Thursday. Until then, this is InsaneSparty. Thank you for joining, and good night.